Y'all ever think about why they ain't putting them dang female school teachers in jail for a long time? And white women, mostly. Y'all ever wonder why they keep doing what they doing? Shoot, they had one case where this white woman got these high school boys, 5 of them, over to her crib. She was married too. And they did whatever they want. She was like, you can do whatever you want to me. You can spit on me, do whatever you want. It was just, she just was, do whatever you want. 5 of them. She gave them drugs. She got them high. She was like, yes, just total debauchery. They gave her 6 months for that. 6 months. There's a black man who sent, I think he sent some pictures, or he was trying to get on, some 15-year-old. He's trying to do whatever. Never touched her, whatever. He never had sex with her. He was a pillar in the neighborhood. Everybody knew him. The cops knew him. But he was attracted to this, They gave that man 30 years. They gave him 30 years. 30 years. They got that white woman 6 months. Yeah, there's no mystery of why these white women keep doing this. And there's more than white women doing it, but the majority of them are white. But there's no mystery to it, or any woman. It's simply because we do not punish them. Deborah LaFay, the judge said that she was too pretty to go to jail. The judge said that. She was knocking this boy off in the classroom, in the car. There's one woman, she caught 22 cases against her. And what's crazy is the first case that she got, she also got a stay away and no contact. As soon as she bailed out of jail, she went and contacted old boy. Some 14-year-old, and she's pregnant by him. See, this is going to keep happening. This is going to keep happening. This is, and the thing about it is, people are like, oh, it's a boy, he's coming of age. No, let me tell you something. When you Brittany Samora, a 13-year-old into sex, for one, it's unbridled. There's no rules to it. This kid doesn't know what he's doing. And when that happens, that spirit gets into that boy. And he thinks this is the way it's supposed to be. Brittany Zamora brought the boy into the classroom, had another boy watching out. And the boy said he lifted up her dress, pulled down her panties or whatever, and he was in there. This is what he said. I was in there. Completely dehumanizing her. This is the way he's going to grow up. And then the other boy said, I knew it was wrong. He said, I had watched for them before. He said, but I just walked away the second time. And think about it, the way she kept him engaged is because she was showing him naked pictures of her, the other boy. You had the one gym teacher who brought 2 boys to the crib, took a shower with her, did their thing. Yeah, another woman, she was a black woman, she was getting it in with this 16-year-old boy, and then she says, why don't you give me a baby? And he said no. And because he was in her class, she failed him. And that's when he told. Because she was like, I wanted a child from him. He's like, nah, I'm not giving you a baby. You're crazy. I'm telling you, when these boys grow up, they look at every woman like that. They don't look at them as sweet, loving, kind, feminine. They look at them as the enemy. And when they have sex with them, they're having sex with the enemy. And it becomes violent. And that spirit seeps in. And that violence creeps out because it's a spirit. Sex is a spiritual act. But if it's not done within the confines of, the scriptures, the way God intended it to be for marriage, then you got those young boys looking at more porn. And what do you see when you see porn? You don't see married people, having sex to have children. No, you see sex being totally misused. That's why God hates it. Because so many people are dying and going to hell because of it. Not only that, when you bring in that sexual spirit, you bring in other spirits like it. When Jesus was talking to the man on the beach and he had all them demons in him, he said, who are you? And he said, we are legion, meaning there are a bunch of us within this man. Yeah. Lust and lasciviousness, smoking and drinking, cursing and fighting. Yeah. The scripture says when these spirits leave you, they go into waterless places in the hell. And when they see that your house is all cleaned up, they come and they try to get back in you. And if they do, they're worse than what they were before. This is what's happening. Listen, we know the correlation. If anybody ever heard a statistic of most of the people that are in jail are in it because of broken homes? Yeah. And I know it's a small percent, it's like 1% of the population, but nonetheless, those 2 million people, and there's a high percentage that most of those people in jail are there because of broken homes. What are we gonna, what do you bet that sex had something to do with that? Somewhere along the line, sex had probably almost everything to do with it. It's where it started. Now, you got some people who are able to escape it or they're able to deal with their trauma, but nonetheless, sex has a lot to do with it because once you introduce that, then you're introducing everything else. I'm trying to tell you, when a young boy is introduced to sex by a grown woman, all the rules go out the window. There's no rules in his head. He doesn't look at young girls and says, oh, I shouldn't treat them like I treat this older woman that has told me to do whatever. To do whatever. This woman said, you can do whatever to me. This is what she told those 5 boys. When you tell somebody that spirit creeps in this, they are completely, please don't act like these boys are not destroyed because of this. Because they are. They are. And if you don't get those spirits out of them, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem if somebody doesn't get a hold of them, because once they hit, 25, 30, and they start getting rejected, especially once they hit 40, those spirits don't leave you. They stay in your life, your whole life, until you die. Then they jump into somebody else. This is where generational curses come from. Once you start getting rejection, once you start losing your looks in your youth, and women are like, no, and ew, and all this other stuff, you're creepy, and all these other buzzwords these women use to demean men. And once you get left at the altar, or your wife cheats on you, or the girlfriend cheats on you with the younger friend, and all of these things that happen to men, and then they're in isolation, see what happens. See what happens. Those guys come out of the woodwork and they destroy everything. And you go look at some of these killers and you ask them what happened to them. And I guarantee you, when they were young, somebody introduced them to the wrong thing. Be careful.